Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, today we are bringing you another video, and this is the size comparison between the Galaxy S8 and every other smartphone currently out on the market. Now, this comes courtesy of a leak. So this is from OnLeaks on Twitter. So if you're not following OnLeaks, he's in a couple ones that we've covered in the past. Definitely check him out. He's a really good person to follow, so you can get the latest and greatest for your leaks. Not to mentioning that he has one of the best looks of the S8 that we have seen. So again, go ahead and check him out on Leaks on Twitter. All right, now keep in mind this: when we go over this size comparison, Evan Blast, another leak, great, probably the best leaker on the industry right now. The Galaxy S8 will be a 5.8-inch display, and the S8 Plus will be a 6.2-inch display. So keep that in mind when we're going over these different phones. So 5.8 and 6.2. All right. So this is a size comparison versus the iPhone 7 Plus and the iPhone 7. So first, let's take a look at the S8 versus iPhone 7, and then the S8 Plus versus the iPhone 7 Plus. God, these names are getting too long. So what's really interesting is that in terms of narrowness, the S8 is almost identical to the iPhone 7. So you can see that they're really getting that narrowed down feel to it. So that's a really great feature, the fact that we have a very narrow design, easier to reach all the way from across on your phone. However, it is obviously going to be taller. So it's 148 millimeters as opposed to 138. But again, the screen size you're getting for this, you have to remember, this screen size is actually 5.8. So this, you're getting a bigger screen than the iPhone 7 Plus, and look how much smaller it is compared to the iPhone 7 Plus. You're talking a much narrower, almost 8 millimeters wider. You're also talking about about 10 millimeters taller. So you save a lot of real estate space in terms of the phone for getting a much bigger screen size. So that's a really cool feature that you're going to have with this device. Not only that, but the S8 Plus, in comparing to it, is actually narrower by far compared to the iPhone 7 Plus, and you're getting a slightly wider, but this is a 6.2-inch display. This is almost, not exactly, but almost a full inch bigger. It's more than half an inch bigger. So that's a really big step up in terms of display size compared to the iPhone 7 Plus. So really, really well designed phone in terms of maximizing your screen to body ratio. And just to give you an idea of what it looks like in the back, these are the idea behind the schematics in the back. So you can see they all have that curvature in the back that makes it easier to grip. Although if the S8 is evolved from the Note 7, the Note 7 was far easier to grip than the S7 Edge. So I am looking forward to this design and seeing if Samsung really found that sweet spot of being able to hold an edge display without making it feel like too sharp or uncomfortable to hold. So normally you had to put cases on like the S7 Edge or the S6 Edge back in the day. But with these, you are getting better and better grip each time. The Note 7 was perfect in my opinion, or at least getting to perfection. So hopefully this S8 will do it better. Now let's check it out compared to Samsung's other lineup. So compare the S8 to the S7. The S8 is actually narrower than the S7, so it's actually a narrower design. So you're going to get a smaller overall phone compared to the S7. So it's going to be slightly narrower, so easier, again, to grip in the hand. But in terms of a height, it will obviously be taller since it's going to have a bigger real estate. So you're going to get a 148 again compared to a 142 in this case. So it's a good amount taller than it. And again, because instead of a 5.1-inch display, or 5.2, 5.1, I forget the screen size for a second on here, you're getting a 5.8-inch display. So you're getting over half an inch a bigger screen for a narrower phone with the taller top. Now, comparing the S8 Plus to the Note 7, you're getting about the same millimeters in terms of width. So this is a little bit wider than the Note 7, so to keep that in mind. However, comparing to height, you're getting a much taller phone here. So this is 153 compared to 159. So definitely a taller screen size in comparison between these two. I am very curious to see how it looks and very curious to see how it feels. I'm also curious, so I get the tallness, right? But what about going all the way down to the bottom? Is that going to end up being uncomfortable when you're going like down to the bottom of your phone? Is that going to be different from pressing the home button because you have the different feedback? I mean, we review lots of all screen phones, meaning that they don't have physical buttons, capacitive buttons, touchscreen buttons instead. But with this one, I really don't know how it's going to feel overall when going that low to reach the button because it's a taller phone overall. All right, and this is the grand one, so you can kind of see how it compares to everything else out in the market. So first, let's compare the S8 to every other phone, and then we'll compare the S8 Plus to every other phone. So the S8, the biggest one, obviously we have to talk about right away, is the S8 versus the G6, because those are the two phones coming out, and those are the two Androids to buy in the upcoming 2 months. And so first of all, the S8 is again a 5.8 inch screen. The LG G6 is a 5.7 inch display. And in terms of narrower design, Samsung does take it with a 68 millimeters comparing to the 71.9, so almost 72 millimeters phone on the LG G6. However, LG is going to be about 1 millimeter smaller in comparison, 149 versus 148. So overall, LG has a shorter phone, but a wider one, while Samsung has a narrower phone and a taller one. Let me know, what do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer narrower and taller? So again, more, you can reach across the screen more easily, or do you prefer a shorter but wider? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. We also see how it compares to the recently announced P10 from Huawei, and Huawei is going to have a shorter phone and a wider design, again comparing to the S8's taller but narrower design. And now let's go to the bigger phones. So these are the biggest of the big, and let's compare them. So in terms of the phablets, or the bigger phones out in the market, the S8 Plus is again going to be pretty much the narrowest of them all, except compared to the Note 7 for the phablet screen size. Now remember, this is giving you a 6.2 inch display as opposed to a 5.5, which you're getting with the iPhone 7 Plus, Nexus 6P, and the Pixel XL. So you're getting, again, almost 8 inch bigger, more than half an inch bigger for the screen size on this phone. So that's really impressive. You think these are a year, and the Nexus 6P 2 years, but you think this is about a year difference in how much we've gone in terms of screen to body ratio, kind of just utilizing everything you need to with the real estate you have on a phone. And again, in terms of height, it is taller than the Pixel XL and the iPhone 7 Plus, but not as tall as the Nexus 6P. The Nexus 6P, as you remember, I was like, this is like the tallest thing ever. So overall, when it comes to these phones, it's a really interesting thing. It really is. Samsung is going for a narrower but taller design, whereas a lot of other manufacturers, from what we've seen, seem to have more of a wider and shorter design. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Which is your preferred take on a phone size in terms of ratio? And does this change your mind, or does this get you more or less excited about the upcoming S8 and S8 Plus compared to the current phones out in the market? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you as always for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.